Hey, Jarvis, I got a gift for you.
Hey, Michael. Oh, I love gifts.
Hold out your hand. It's a subscription to the Full Times Movie Fans YouTube channel.
Oh my
And
gosh.
you can have one too
so
if you click the
free
button
and
below.
wonderful.
That's my intro.
Look
I'm
how
done with my intro now.
free and wonderful this is. Man, welcome to Full-Time Movie Fans. I'm your host. You can just call me Jarvis. This is also host Michael. And he likes to stay hydrated, as you all should. Don't forget to drink water, boys and girls.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Exactly. So anyways, we're back. Dude, I'm glad. I'm happy to be back. I guess we weren't.
Are you waiting for me to?
Oh, I don't.
Waiting for a response?
This is a non-scripted show. We just love movies, and we're happy to be here.
Yes, we are.
Which movie are we doing? I don't think we discussed which one we were going to do first.
So the movie that we're talking about today is. Can you fix the teleprompter?
Oh, we need a drum roll. Insert drum roll.
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit. Oh my gosh, dude! What a great movie. Have you guys seen Jojo Rabbit? If you haven't, you should.
You really should. You really should. I watched back one of the episodes today, and I had like a blanket spoiler warning for everybody, so I'm going to do it right now.
Do it right now.
This is not a safe place for you to be if you have not watched this movie. If you want to watch this movie and you have not watched this movie, you could either watch the movie first and then watch this whole entire podcast, or alternatively, we'll see if we can get this done. We'll see if Jarvis can learn how to do this before we get there. You can go to the chapters right down below, and you can click to the part where it's, hey, should you watch this movie? Or watch the episode of should you watch this movie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
well, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that. You're going to have to.
But yeah, spoiler heavy everything. Spoiler heavy everything.
I'm an old man.
Want to get a spoiler right
what's
now?
What's technology? What is
Cover your ears. 3, 2, 1. Hitler isn't real.
I missed it because I covered my ears.
Let's move on.
Man, you know what? Actually, why don't you take the lead for now? Because I need to. There's one thing that I wanted to bring up, but I gotta look it up because I don't want to get it wrong.
You want to make sure you got it right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jojo Rabbit. I'll give you the brief synopsis before we do a deep dive into the story.
Yeah.
Right. So it is a young German boy in the middle of World War II who really so badly wants to be a Nazi and wants to fight for his country in the Great War. And he, with the confidence of him and his imaginary friend, Adolf Hitler, who is his imaginary friend but also is a real figure, but is also played by a Jewish man from New Zealand, he does things that causes him to not be very Nazi-ish, and so that's like the brief synopsis. But then there's more to that. The extended synopsis is there's a little Jewish girl that his mom is harboring in their attic. So as a kind little Nazi boy would, he has to hide her, or else his family will die.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's definitely the most appropriate reason to have a girl hidden away in your home where nobody knows where they are.
Yeah.
Any other ways are unacceptable.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
This is very altruistic.
I would agree with that.
Reason for that.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? Maybe dude, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be so hard for me to find this quote that I want to quote. It's because it's so funny. I thought it's so the movie has a lot of amazing actors and actresses.
A lot of them.
So many.
Almost none survive.
Yes.
That's also a spoiler for you, by the way.
But it's for me, dude, I laughed out loud. Rewatching this, I so forgot. But Sam Rockwell is in this movie.
Love Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, so freaking good as an actor. He's been in so many different things. And his first line cracks me up. It's so funny. That's what I'm trying to find. You
oh yeah,
when he's on the stage,
when he's like, "Hi, I'll be your dude training you guys this week. I'm here because we failed a mission and everybody died except for me, but I got my eye stabbed out. And if you're not a fully fledged soldier, you don't get to fight in the war. So now I train you, Rugrats."
No, it
was
was
a lot more like
it was his actual
spoken.
He says he literally says like it's just a Heil Hitler, but I forget what he said. I'm gonna find it. I'm sorry, you gotta keep going. I gotta find this thing.
All right, so I'll start off with how we can do a thing, and a little side note, a little behind how the sausage is made thing. I'm mixing different quotes right here.
Yes,
I forgot to put the timer up, so we might go over on this one. Who knows? We'll find out. So we enter with Jojo getting himself hyped up for his first day of camp, I think is what it is, and he's sitting there getting a pep talk from his best friend and closest confidant, Adolf Hitler, and they just start screaming and hailing Hitler over and over, and that's the introduction. That's like the cold open, and it's very tongue-in-cheek, and it's very funny. And the thing that I'll say right now that I love about this movie is how serious it takes the subject matter while also making sure everybody knows that the Nazis are fucking stupid.
yeah, it's great. It's really great. Taika Waititi is amazing.
And it doesn't fail either. There's like very serious, very heavy moments.
Yeah,
and then the Nazis are just there, and then just being like goofballs, like not goofballs, like haha, they're silly, quirky, like little guys, like they're doing the things that Nazis would do. Yeah, and it's in a very like heightened comical way.
Yeah,
like one of the things that they had to do in their regime is anytime that they met up with another like officer, I guess, I don't know, another soldier, they had to look at each other and hail Hitler to each person.
Oh yeah,
and they do that multiple times in the movie, where it's like 2 minutes long, where like 7 dudes just walk in rooms.
Heil Hitler. Yeah.
Have you met this person? Oh, hail. It's so stupid. It's so dumb.
See, so that's one of the things that I really loved about one of our last reviews in Game Night is the small little bits that I think are just funny. That's a bit in Jojo Rabbit that's is very funny. It's very simple, but it's very funny.
It's very funny.
Okay, so here's what I've decided. We're just gonna have to insert a clip of the thing I'm talking about because I can't find it. It's literally just gonna be Sam Rockwell just saying that one line.
Yeah.
Because what it is he just says Heil Hitler, and then something else is just very like casual.
Very nonchalant.
Yes, but it's funny. Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah. Recurring character in Jojo Rabbit. Post it down in the comments below. I don't know. Hit that like button. Watch it turn into a rainbow. It's fun. It's very cool.
Yeah, do that too.
I actually made sure it happened last time. It was very interesting. It's neat.
Yeah. So this is Taika Waititi's movie.
Yeah, 100%.
And he plays Hitler. So I think this is a great. This is a great.
I like how you're like 2 minutes behind me right now.
Yeah, I know.
Because you were so focused.
But like, what I want to say about that specifically is, this is now. It wasn't with you, but it was with another buddy of mine. We did, Thor, Love and Thunder, and so that was also directed by Taika Waititi, and he also acted as Korg.
He also played Hitler in there. Yeah,
no, he played Korg. But the thing about this is when Taika Waititi it's his 100%. He doesn't have anybody.
Yeah, there's no
direction.
There's no middle fingers to the executive.
He doesn't have to follow. Yeah, he doesn't have to follow any storylines or set up anything in the future. Like, this is just him being him, doing what he wants to do,
right? And
it's marvelous.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even his my first introduction to him was when I was living in I don't know, younger years, in a bachelor pad with a bunch of dudes, and actually one of them who he's a real person. I promise. His name is Clint.
The mysterious Clint.
The quote unquote real person that I know. But he introduced me to What We Do in the Shadows, the movie that he made, Taika Waititi.
Awesome movie.
Hilarious.
The Flight of the Conchords.
Loved it.
Brett and Jermaine.
So good. And that was my first introduction to him. And this feels, this is,
great.
it's the same thing. It's just, it's his movie and you could feel it and it's wonderful. You feel it in your bones, you know what I mean? And it's a good feeling.
All right, let me zip through these plot points so that
Let's do it.
Focus on the funny parts and the parts that we like the most. So, back over here. Back over here. There we go. Look, we're not perfect. This is a $5 million studio over here. So, Jojo's going off to his first day at camp with his friends. Sam Rockwell's the counselor.
With so much excitement.
So much excitement. He's so ready to be one of Hitler's youth. so ready. And he gets there, and they do a couple of activities. It's very, very tongue-in-cheek, very like, and now we're going to learn how to stab with our new knives. Don't stab each other, but we're here to stab. Stuff like that. And at one point, a couple of the younger counselors are like, if you find a Jew, you have to kill them. So are you prepared to kill? And they all go, yeah. And then they go, hey, you, Jojo, kid, get over here. Would you kill if you had to? It's like, yeah, absolutely, I would. I'm like, great, kill this rabbit. And he's like, and then he lets it go and tries to release it. And they're like, see, you couldn't do it. And they kill the rabbit anyway. Which, when we were watching it, Sybil was like, no, that's awful. And I said, yeah, they're Nazis. What do you expect?
They do awful things. It's kind of their thing.
Yeah, that's, historically.
Yeah.
That's their thing, yeah. And so they call him Jojo Rabbit because he's scared and tries to run away or whatever. And so he goes into the forest and hypes himself up with his best friend in the world, Hitler. Again.
Imaginary Hitler.
And he runs back as they're doing the introduction for the grenade throwing class. And he runs in, grabs the grenade, tosses it. It bounces on a tree, comes back, lands right in front of him, and he blows himself up. And then we get a little sequence
and he dies,
of him.
End of story. It was a great movie.
That's it. See y'all next week.
I want to mention one thing that happens a lot during the movie too. I think the running gag of the whole freaking movie is every time they talk about Jews, there's a new fact, quote unquote, about them. That
they got horns.
Yeah,
or the devil controls their brain directly.
Yeah, or they have. What did he say? They have mind control and stuff like that.
Control powers.
Yeah,
they have 17 rows of teeth.
Yeah,
some like bunch of random.
Because I think there was some of that in the camp in the early scenes too. They're just telling them all kinds of fake, not true things about them.
Yeah.
But that's the running gag, I think, and I think it's also very good. It's
so stupid, but yeah, I like it a lot.
So he blows himself up. And that leads him to having a bit of a gimpy leg, but he can still walk and he can still run, and some scars on his face. To be honest, not that bad for being blown up, All things considered, if you've ever been blown up by a grenade before and you live to tell the tale.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good day, all things considered.
For sure.
When grenades are involved. And also the fact that he still looked like a normal kid, pretty much.
And another running gag is that they make fun of his face and call it grotesque and disgusting over and over. When it's like not that bad.
It's not.
It's like 3 or 4 little scars on his face. So it's not that bad. And so with the news that his leg is a little gimpy and his face is maldeformed to beyond recognition, he'll never be able to fight in the war. So sad.
Yeah. Poor little guy.
Yeah, poor guy.
Dreams crushed.
Yeah. But instead, he is taken to one of the local offices for the Nazi party, where Sam Rockwell is there again because he was demoted because of the grenade incident.
He's so good.
And Sam Rockwell gives him a job putting up posters around town or something so that he can help, so that his mom can go do her job during the day without anybody getting suspicious. And
speaking of his mom, stay at home. Speaking of his mom,
Scarlett Johansson,
Mother
of the Year.
Or Mommy of the Year. You might
both.
Even.
Yeah.
No, Scarlett Johansson, you're amazing.
She did a
phenomenal actor.
I remember I remember for a little bit being like, I mean, all she does is Marvel movies now. It's not that great. And then I watched Jojo Rabbit and I was like, oh, I forgot. She's awesome.
Oh, so good.
She's so good.
Jojo Rabbit. And of course, we talked about this in the other one when we were talking about Rise of Skywalker because of Adam Driver. See, it all connects, everybody. It all connects. Marriage Story. We're going to do that one.
Yeah, the extended Marvel Cinematic Universe with Jojo Rabbit and Marriage Story.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about intermingling of the timelines and universes.
Black Widow got married multiple times.
Yeah. But his mom, played by Scarlett Johansson, she's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Did we mention Sam Rockwell's in this movie? Because
I think so.
Also
maybe.
phenomenal.
Rebel Wilson's in it.
Rebel Wilson is in it. So many.
She does great.
She does really good.
Yeah, she's very funny.
Yes.
And she like, I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a tangent real quick. She's one of those people that normally gets typecast in one very specific role. I'm looking at you, Pitch Perfect, with a very apt name, and she does a great job every time.
Every time.
And I feel like this is one of those movies where it was like anybody could have played that part, and they picked her, and it was a great choice.
Phenomenal choice.
And so do that more often. I love
it.
I hate when actors who are like so good and so talented get typecast into one specific role, like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey got typecast into like the goofy, funny, silly guy. Two of my favorite comfort movies. I know I'm on this tangent. I said I was going to be there. We're almost back. Two of my favorite comfort movies are Jim Carrey movies, Truman Show and Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
Truman Show is fantastic.
Wonderful, brilliant movies.
Did you watch number 23?
No.
Not a comedic role at all.
I should watch that one then.
You should watch that one.
I love
it's very good. Jim Carrey, phenomenal.
Anyways, back on track. So Jojo is passing out flyers or something, putting them up around town.
He's doing whatever he can.
Yeah,
for the war efforts.
For the war efforts, for his country.
Exactly.
And he gets home early, and his mom's not home yet, but he hears noises upstairs. So what does he do? He goes up and looks around to this empty house. They're a family of 4, but 2 of them are gone.
Yeah.
One confirmed dead. The other possibly
we don't
fighting
know.
In the war. Who knows?
Maybe. We don't know.
And so Jojo knows, like, if his mom's not home, he's by himself. And so he hears noises, and like a good little Nazi warrior, he goes upstairs with his knife and starts searching around. Finds a little, like, door crevice.
Yeah, some kind of scrapes on the ground.
Yeah.
From the little hidden door swing.
He gets a little suspicious and then tries to opens the little secret room in the attic. And it's a very creepy little scene where he's like sneaking around, shining his little flashlight. And then there's a girl in there. And he screams and runs and tries to get away. He's like, oh my God, this is my worst nightmare. There's a Jew in my house.
Horrible. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's so dumb. This might be a good time to note that I am of Jewish lineage. So,
yeah.
If anybody in the comments wants to talk about how nonchalant I am about these Jew jokes, look at yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
You know? Anyways, so Jojo tries to run off and go tattle because, you know, that's what a good little Nazi boy would do.
Yeah. When he uncovers a Jew in his home.
Yeah.
That's kind of like on the checklist of what to do as a Nazi boy.
Yeah, yeah.
When you find a Jew in your home,
go tell somebody immediately.
Number 1, go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, go tattle. Tell the police, and by the police I mean the Nazis. That's a weird thing. I just thought in my head about the difference between the Nazis and the police at the time, but like, well, I'll look that up later.
That's for a different YouTube channel.
Is that a thing?
Full-time politics.
Full-time historical fans. So yeah, she traps him in a corner and is like, you tell anybody that I'm here and you're dead. I'll kill you. And if you go and you tell anybody that I'll kill you, they'll take your mom and she'll die and I'll die and then you'll be by yourself. And that'll
which were just facts. I mean,
yeah, it's true. She really put him in like a real life catch-22.
She checkmated him basically.
Yeah, is you tell anybody that I'm here, I cut off your head. You tell anybody that I'm here and that and I get caught, I tell them that your mom and you were both in on it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, don't
tell anybody basically. And so Jojo's like, oh, Jewish mind control. She got me. Quite literally, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And he goes on this mission to, if he can't expose the Jew in his closet or in his attic, he must learn everything about them to put an expose together to give out to the country as a whole. So that
it makes sense.
Everybody can, I don't know, learn
So
about them.
so they have the facts they need to finally bring down.
And of course,
these vampire Jews that sleep
her
upside
name's
down.
Elsa. I'll stop referring to her as the Jew in the attic. Her name's Elsa.
Yeah.
Just fucks with him.
Yeah.
He's like, so I heard that you, I don't know, I can't even remember any of them. I heard that you sleep upside down. She's like, yeah, we do every night.
Here's what we should do now. If you've watched the movie, which hopefully you do, post your favorite Jew. What's it? What do we call it?
Fake facts.
Yeah, fake facts about the Jews. Which one is your favorite?
Yeah.
We'll go and look them up after this, and we'll post them.
Maybe type them in like tastefully too, because I don't know if YouTube will catch that.
Yeah. Let's be very clear then.
Do that at your own risk. Yeah, do that at your own risk. So that's what he does, and then he goes and does his physical therapy and walks up to Sam Rockwell and is like, "Hey, not that I've found a Jew in my attic, but like, what would I do if I did find one?"
Yeah.
He said, "Well, you would come and you'd tell one of us, and then they would come in and they'd get rid of the Jew and anybody that helped them." And probably a few other people surrounding that. It's a very lengthy process.
Yeah, just to be sure. Yeah, I remember that. That's
yeah. And so Jojo was like, "Oh, okay. I really can't."
Yeah.
He's like, "Why? Did you find one?" He's like, "No. No." So that was fun. Some other shenanigans happens. We get into a fun little playful. He goes and starts writing love letters to Elsa from her boyfriend in France.
Oh yeah, I love that. That's so
the first
funny.
one was that because Elsa was like, "I was engaged before all of this, and when the war's over, we're gonna run away. Before the war happened, we were gonna run away to Paris and get married." And Jojo wrote a note that was like, "From Nathan, I lied. I don't want to marry you. Also, I'm fat and have nothing going for me. The end."
Yeah.
10-year-old boy shit.
Yeah. That was, but yeah, you could.
Yeah, and then she started crying. He was like, "Hey,
wait, actually,
letter
there
from
was
Nathan.
Another letter I found. Yeah,
It says, just kidding about that last letter. I love you very much."
Yeah. So
10-year-old boy shit.
Yeah, just showing him that he does have a heart. He's not like evil. He's just he's just living in the circumstances of the culture and the country he lives in.
And so when he's with her, she's like feeding him dumb, not real stories about the Jewish people, and
he's just eating it up. He's just eating
when
it
his
up.
mom's home, he's like, "So, I see you're not eating. Is there any reason for that?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm just not hungry right now. I'll probably eat after you go to bed." And she's like, "Well, if you're not gonna eat, I think I'll just eat more because wouldn't want it to go to waste, right?" So he's like, not trying to get her to admit, but trying to get her to admit that there's stuff going on and that she's complicit in it. But it's very obvious that she is. And so he's like, "I don't know what to do. I love my mom. I don't want to do anything to get us in trouble."
I love his mom too.
I do too. I think you'd be lying if you said you didn't love Scarlett Johansson. So you might as well leave a like and subscribe and watch both those buttons flash.
If you like Scarlett Johansson or you love her like we do, subscribe and like and leave a comment.
Yeah. So I'm gonna blaze through the rest of these.
If you hate her, then don't.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna blaze through the rest of these so that we can move on. Essentially, what happens is that Jojo continues his job of trying to write an expose. At some point, they get suspicious. The Nazis get suspicious about Scarlett Johansson. And end up searching their house, where Elsa, instead of hiding in the closet.
That's where the bit that we were talking about, where everybody's
howling over and over. Where instead of hiding back in the attic and probably getting caught, she pops up and is like, "I'm his sister, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's my sister." It's like, "Okay, show me your papers." Shows the papers. Sam Rockwell. Best Nazi to ever exist, fake Nazi to ever exist. Like, it kind of catches on. Is like, show me those papers.
Her, right?
Yeah, it's like, "What's your full name, birthday?" And she gets the birthday wrong, and he's like, "Okay, she's good. let's all go. And so they leave, and then she goes and hides and is like, oh my god, I fucked up.
She realizes it. Yeah, when she gets the papers back,
she says they're gonna come back for me. They're gonna come back for us, and it's all over.
Yeah, because she mistook the 1 for a 7 or something. So
and so they so Jojo goes off and is like, hey, it'll be fine. We'll be okay. He goes out the next day, kind of iffy about where his morals stand at this point.
Yeah,
he goes out
a little bit.
He's out on the streets and he's like fixing the posters that are up right now. Like there's talks that that the ally forces are invading soon, very soon. Russians from the north, Americans from the south, and everybody else from everywhere else, basically. And so nobody's doing any of the routine stuff at this point. And so JoJo's just walking around, and this is where we get the very sad, very like noticeable reveal. They hung Scarlett Johansson publicly, and JoJo finds out,
she got caught.
It's very sad. It's a very sad moment, very good moment. If you haven't watched the movie, and I just spoiled that for you, you've made a terrible choice. You should have watched it first.
Yeah, you probably, if you had a heart and a soul, you would have cried.
For sure. I watched that in theaters the first time, and it was like watching it back. It was kind of telegraphed that was going to happen.
Yeah,
I didn't catch on, and so it happened. And I was like, "Fuck, this is bad." I said, "This is supposed to be a funny movie. I was supposed to come here laugh at funny movie."
Yeah, I'm not supposed to cry.
I'm not supposed to cry. And so JoJo has made up his mind now. Not too bad. Very good choice.
He finally sees it.
Goes home and is like, hey, this is all your fault. Tries to stab Elsa, then starts crying. Does stab Elsa a little bit. Starts crying.
Yeah.
She understands. She totally gets it. And then the invasion starts, and everything's tenuous and very sad, very, very stressful. We see his little 10-year-old friends fighting and carrying rocket launchers and shooting people, and he's just out there in the middle of it all, watching it all happen, and it's actually extremely traumatizing.
Yeah.
And I'd get to Sam Rockwell's a little bit where he saves JoJo, but we can talk about that in more detail in a bit. And then the war's over, and the Allied forces win, and there's people in the streets, and JoJo gets back home, knocks on the door, and Elsa goes, hey, who won? And he said, we did. We won.
Yeah.
You can't leave. You have to stay with me.
He's a little liar, but he's doing it because he's scared.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to be alone.
He doesn't want to be alone anymore.
And he found someone that he...
Yeah, and then immediately understands that he did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Writes her a little note from Nathan that says, hey, we can run away now. We have a plan. We can run away forever. And she comes out and she goes, Nathan's dead. He died before the war started. He got sick and died. And JoJo goes,
So they were both little liars.
That's awkward. Who's been writing all these notes then? Yeah. But I do have a plan to get you out of here. And he takes her through the plan. The plan's just walking outside.
Yeah.
Because it's safe. She walks outside. She sees American soldiers just waving the American flag down the street. Turns around, slaps him in the face. And then they dance.
It's cute.
It's happy.
And I told you this. I told you this before we started recording, but that was the moment that every time I watch it, I definitely cry at the end.
For sure.
Because she does. She's very upset at him for lying to her.
Absolutely. And she's justified.
And making her feel like that she's going to be a prisoner forever.
Right.
Or die.
Yeah.
And then when she realized she lied to him, rational reaction, she slaps him. And you can see the anger on her face, but then the more that she stands out there realizing that she's free, and he's standing out there realizing, hey, this is someone I care about. Yeah. And she's, and he's realizing that she's free as well. She starts to smile, and they look around and see the world as it is now, which is free for her and free for him. And, they just start smiling and waving back and forth, and then they start dancing together. And it's just one of the cutest, sweetest things I've seen. And I cried my little eyes out, my little Asian eyes out, and just had a little, cuteness overload, happiness overload just at that moment. So yeah, very, very good.
It's very good.
Yeah,
great.
I think it was phenomenal. I think
Hey, you.
How'd you like that episode? Did you like it?
You like movies? You like this one?
Do ya?
You should subscribe to this
Yeah,
channel right
like
now.
Also, as well.
Yeah. You got friends? Yeah, you do.
Do you? Hopefully.
Show it to them.
Prove
Show
it.
this to them.
Prove it. Prove it to us you got friends.
There's other videos to watch too. Why don't you watch those if you're so cool?
Yeah, prove you're not a bot. Leave a comment.
Nerd.